Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to May I Scraplift You. Today on May I Scraplift You, we are scraplifting Ashley_projects. And I really like this layout. I really like the simplicity of it, but of course I didn't do it simple. I do like that you can use that pretty much a solid, not a solid piece of paper, but one piece of cardstock with a strip at the bottom, and that keeps your paper layering simple and everything. But today what I decided to do was I am doing mixed media in that whole upper portion, and I am using a stencil from one of the new Vicki Boutin Color Study stencil packs. And actually I'm going to be using two of them, and I think this is called Bubbles. I'm not 100% sure of that because I don't have it sitting in front of me, but it is definitely from Color Study, and I really like this stencil. I thought it would be a lot of fun. I'm using this bath time photo of my grandson and my niece's little girl, and she leaned over and gave him a kiss in the bathtub, so it was really cute. And so I thought this looks like, bath time, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's have some bubbles. Now, I am using the Salvaged Patina Dress Oxide ink, and then I am going to use a little bit of the Speckled Egg with the smaller polka dot stencil. And I'm not filling in every space with either of the two stencils, but I do like that the smaller one is kind of filling in some of the blank spaces. Not every single space, which is how I want it to look. I want it to look kind of haphazard. But I do like that the Speckled Egg kind of brings down the tone of the Salvage Patina. Now I thought I would use this paper from Obed Marshall's new Buenos Dias line, but then I wasn't really fond of the colors. I don't want to say I wasn't going to do a monochromatic layout, but I wasn't too fond of the oranges that were on it, and I don't know, it just wasn't speaking to me. So I pulled out an older piece of paper from I think this is from Amy Tangerine, possibly. Anyway, and I thought it would be nice also because it has those polka dots on it. Now I am backing my photo with a glassine bag, and I like that because it adds a little bit of that shiny texture, which kind of reminds me of soap or bubbles. It's not iridescent, but it does have that shine to it, and you're not seeing a ton of it. It's just going to be peeking out from behind the photo, so that makes me happy. But I did end up having to fold it over because it was a little bit too big. Now I am going to end up cutting that glassine bag apart at the top and not keeping it folded over, and I will not be keeping it folded over, but I thought, my original thought was that it would be that way, but then I end up making a pocket out of it. So I have a die. It's from Sizzix, and it's one of the Sizzix Thinlits. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. It's called Bright Bubbles, and that is what I'm using right there. I had die cut some glassine bag, and I also die cut some vellum. The white pieces are the glassine, and then there will be another color that I lay down that has kind of like a grayish greenish tone to it, and that's the vellum. The vellum is colored, and that's like a really old Mrs. Grossman's vellum, so I don't even know that you could get that or if it's available, but it's been in my stash for quite some time, and I thought it would just add to the greens and blues that are going to be on this layout. And I like that it adds a little bit more texture and more of that bubble kind of effect. So I thought that's kind of fun. And then, putting those down, I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. The nozzle on that comes out really fine tipped, and you can leave it open for quite some time if it's on its side on your desk. If you leave it standing up, it does clog the nozzle, but it's fairly easy to unclog. You can just pop the top off of it. The actual nozzle will pop out of there, and go run it under some warm water. Make sure you kind of like tap out the excess water and put it back in, and then your first squirt, I would not like put it right on your project. I'd put it off onto something else because there usually is a little bit of added moisture in there, and it makes it a little bit runny or a little bit wet. So yeah, that first little squeeze after rinsing it out, you'd want to do that onto something that you're not worried about, into the trash can, something like that. So I am gonna just keep putting those down, and some of the little bubbles are not attached, so you're going to see me add a little bit of those as well, and I really like the way that they look. They don't really show up great on my screen, but they're up there kind of just below the pen that's sitting there. And then that border strip that is connecting the mixed media piece with the pattern paper, I'm not exactly sure where I got that. It's been in my stash for quite some time, and I have it in a vase with all of my branding strips. So they're all just standing up in a vase. I kind of just flipped through them and pulled one that I thought would work, and I really like how it looks because it goes great with the bubbles that are cut out of the vellum. The vellum is more of that tone than the white, and so I thought that it worked well. And then I also have this 3x4 card that has kind of these rainbow dots or rainbow circles, and this is where I decide I want to have a pocket for that journaling card to go into. Now I do realize that journaling card has a whole bunch of different colors on it, and that is going to prompt me to add some more color to this layout. I do pull in these foam stickers. I have some foam stickers and some ephemera from this Old Pebbles collection. That is a baby collection, and I could not find the name of the collection on either one of the packages. But I do end up using some of the ephemera and some of the foam stickers, and so I really like how they look. I think they're super, super cute with this, and they really just finish off this layout really, really well. I was really, really, I keep saying really, I was excited to use that crab, and so I knew I wanted him on there, and I knew I wanted a sailboat on there, and the bird that's sitting on the, I don't know, is that a pylon? he's he's sitting on something. I think it's a pylon, but I really like that as well. So I thought that those were fun. I did find that there was quite a bit of white on the outside of this crab, so I went and I trimmed that down a little bit just so there's not quite so much white outline. It really kind of bothers me when there's a ton of that. I don't know why they have to make it so big, and why they can't cut it a little bit closer to the actual picture or the image. So while I work on that, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about May I Scraplift You. Crystal Barrett has been doing this all month long, and I am playing along with her, and I am so happy to say that I am going to actually finish out the whole month by scraplifting someone every day, and I'm using the same list that she is using. I think I have a couple of them where they are flip-flopped on a couple of days, but other than that, I am using the same people. So go and check out everybody who's playing along. There are several people playing along throughout the month. Some are just playing once a week, some are playing all week, all month. But go check them out and leave them a little bit of love. This has been a really fun series, and it's a great way to give back a little bit of love to the people that have been following Crystal over on Instagram. And I think next time I might actually just choose some different people as well so that I can spread the love. So I hope that you are really enjoying this series and having fun with it, because scrap lifting is just a little bit different than using a sketch, and in the past I've always found it a little bit easier to scrap lift than to use a sketch, but since I've been doing the 30 days of sketches the last couple of rounds that Christy Harriman has been doing it over on Christy's Beautiful Life, I have found that it doesn't matter. I can use the sketch the or scrap lift or stretch it or whatever. I always seem to find a way to do it. So, and I don't feel like you have to do an exact representation of any of those things. Like if you have a sketch that or a scrap lift that you're starting with and it takes you in a totally different direction, go with it. Whatever you are inspired to do, that's what you should do, and that is what the inspiration is out there for. And honestly, I think I didn't go and ask anybody if I could scrap lift them, and if that bothers them, my apologies. But I find it very flattering if people scrap lift me. I think that's like one of the highest forms of flattery, is somebody likes your work enough to go and try and do something similar. So thank you to all of the people that we have scrap lifted so far for the inspiration that you have brought to our scrapbooking. It's been really fun playing along, and I've really enjoyed it. So I do add those little stickers of fishies, and those are popped up onto some fun foam, and I just use the cheap stuff at Walmart. Some of it it is adhesive on one side, and then I use the liquid adhesive on the other side. I really like this anchor. I want to tuck that in around this boat. I think that's a lot of fun and give it a little bit more dimension. And you can see up at the top I brought in those hot air balloons to add some color, and it's like the same colors that's on the 3x4 card that's tucked in. And then I brought in this sticker with the hearts underneath the photo that has the same colors as well. Now I'm going to bring in this puffy hot air balloon that has the same colors as the fishies and the boat down below, so it kind of brings those colors up into that upper left hand side. And I like that the telescope is looking up at the hot air balloon. I think that's a lot of fun. And then I am pulling in this piece that says ahoy. I'm not using the boat that was on it. I think that was a boat. I am just using the piece that says ahoy. And then this little wood veneer piece, I think that brings in the color of the crab and the bottom of the sailboat up into this corner. And I do realize that I am covering up a lot of those hot air balloons on that sticker, but you can still see them peeking out, and it brings those additional colors up into that corner. So it's totally fine. I don't mind that they are mostly covered up. I'm just going to add a few more little tiny fishies down at the bottom here and take a look at how if I like it or not. And then my title, I have these thickers in the same blue color, and the actual bathtub in the photo provided such a great place for my title that that's where I ended up putting it. My little thickers end up fitting perfectly, and so my title is Tub Love, but I did not have an O, so I had to do a little surgery on a Q, and that's what I am doing there. And so that's going to complete my title, and I really like the way that it looks and that it brings those same colors in to the photo actually. If you enjoyed this video, I really love it if you give it a thumbs up, and if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. And if you are subscribed, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Again, check out everybody who has links down in the description box below, and go and give them a little bit of love. Thanks for choosing to watch my channel today and spending time with me. I really, really appreciate it. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.